You've seen the same 20 anime recommended everywhere. Watch Attack on Titan. Have you tried Demon Slayer? Yes, everyone has. Their mothers have. Their mothers' dentists have. But what if I told you some of the greatest anime ever made are sitting at 3,000 viewers on tracking sites, while mid-shows with blue-haired waifus have millions? Today, we're going tomb raiding. These are 10 masterpieces that the algorithm buried alive, and by the end of this video, you'll have a watch list that will make you look insufferably cultured at your next anime convention. Let's dig them up. Starting at number 10, Infinite Ryvius. Imagine Lord of the Flies, but in space. Now imagine it's way more brutal than that description suggests. This 1999 series from Sunrise, yeah, the Gundam people, throws 487 teenage space cadets onto a battleship with zero adult supervision, and watches them descend into chaos. But here's the twist. There's no alien villain to unite them. The enemy is themselves. Resource scarcity, failed leadership, teenagers playing politics with life or death consequences. The main character isn't some chosen hero, he's a mediator constantly failing to stop everyone from tearing each other apart. This show asks, what if the giant robot wasn't a symbol of hope, but a tool for oppression? The mech here doesn't save anyone, it becomes a political weapon, and whoever controls it controls the ship. It's a sociological nightmare wrapped in a mecha package, and it's absolutely brilliant. Why is it obscure? It came out right after everyone got depressed from Evangelion, and the late 1960s art style hasn't aged as gracefully as the writing. But if you want a show that treats its characters like actual flawed humans instead of tropes with hairstyles, this is it. At number 9, Uninhabited Planets Survive. This is the show that looks like a Saturday morning cartoon and plays like a hardcore survival documentary. A group of students get stranded on an abandoned, terraformed planet, and instead of discovering superpowers or friendship beams, they have to dig wells, build houses, preserve meat, smelt iron. This is competence porn at its finest. You will feel genuine satisfaction watching these kids figure out how water filtration works. It's 52 episodes of pure, methodical, beautifully animated problem solving. And just when you think it's all wholesome Robinson Crusoe vibes, it pivots into hard sci-fi territory with nanotechnology, environmental collapse, and the remnants of a failed civilization. The character growth is earned. The cowardly rich kid doesn't become brave because of a pep talk. He becomes brave because survival demands it. The bully learns empathy because the planet doesn't care about your social status. Why'd it flop? It aired on NHK, Japan's educational network, so Western fans wrote it off as kids stuff. Huge mistake. This is what The Martian would be if it was an anime and had an actual heart. Number 8, House of Five Leaves. If you've ever wanted a samurai show where the samurai is terrible at samuraiing, congratulations, this is your show. Our protagonist is Akitsu, a ronin so timid and anxious he keeps getting fired from bodyguard gigs. He ends up joining a gang of kidnappers in Edo period Japan, but this isn't an action series. It's a mood. Long takes of rain, pipe smoke curling in silence, conversations that breathe. The art style is divisive. Character designs by Natsume Ono are all elongated limbs and sleepy eyes. Ugly cute, some call it. But once you adjust, you realize this is noir at its finest. It's about broken people forming a found family in a society that has no place for them. The subtext between the main character and the gang leader is so thick you could cut it with a katana. Violence is rare and unglamorous. The tension comes from what's not said. If you want sword fights, go watch Demon Slayer. If you want to feel something in the quiet moments, this is your show. And hey, if you're digging this list so far, drop a like. Seriously, it helps these hidden gems reach people who actually want to watch them. Algorithm, do your thing. Number 7, Mouryou no Hako, which translates to Box of Goblins, and yes, it's as weird as it sounds. This is what happens when Madhouse, Clamp, and a dense as hell mystery novel have a baby. It's 2008, post-World War II Tokyo, dismemberment murders, missing girls, a bunch of eccentrics, including a spirit medium, sitting in dark rooms talking about the philosophical nature of boxes for 20 minutes straight. I'm not joking. Entire episodes are just dialogue. What is a box? Is the human body a box? Is consciousness a box? It's Serial Experiments Lane meets a detective novel meets a graduate-level seminar on Japanese folklore. The art is gorgeous. Clamp's signature beautiful people rendered in sepia-toned horror. But the narrative is deliberately fragmented. Scenes are shown out of order. You have to piece the mystery together yourself. And when it clicks, it's horrifying. Not because of gore, but because you realize how deeply the character's delusions have twisted reality. Why is it unknown? because it filters its audience in the first 5 minutes. If you can't handle dialogue-heavy, non-linear storytelling with cultural references to Onnyodo, you're out. But if you can, this is one of the smartest things anime has ever produced. Number 6. Fantastic Children. Take a look at the art style. Looks like a kids show, right? Soft colours, simple designs, very world masterpiece theatre. Wrong. This is a time-hopping, reincarnation-heavy sci-fi tragedy that will destroy you emotionally. It's about a group of white-haired children who never age, wandering through history searching for a girl named Helga. Why? That's the puzzle. The show unfolds like a mystery box, revealing layers of alien technology, corrupted souls, and the burden of eternal memory. The mid-series flashback arc, set in the 16th century, is a romance so tragic that people who've seen it compare it to Berserk's Golden Age arc. And they're not exaggerating. This is what happens when you give a director complete creative control. The entire series was storyboarded before animation started, so every plot thread ties together perfectly. The ending is a masterclass in bittersweet resolution. But because it looks like it's for toddlers, Western fans in the mid-2000s ignored it in favour of Bleach and Naruto. Their loss, your gain. By the way, drop a comment if you've actually seen any of these. I need to know there are others out there in the trenches with me. Number 5. Windy Tales. Okay, this one is aggressively weird. The characters look like rough sketches, like literally squiggly lines, no detail, moving in ways that defy anatomy. It's Production IG in 2004 saying, what if we just didn't do Moe? What if we made something that looks like a dream? The plot? A middle school girl discovers people who can control wind. Not for combat, not to save the world, just to fly. To move clouds for better photos. To feel the breeze. There is no villain, no conflict, just vibes. Pure, unadulterated, avant-garde vibes. It's Iyashikei, healing anime, but directed by someone who clearly did psychedelics and watched a Miyazaki film in reverse. The animation of weightlessness is beautiful. The way the characters wobble and distort as they fly creates a sense of movement you won't see anywhere else. Why is it obscure? People see the art and think it's cheap or bad, completely missing that this style is intentional and wildly difficult to execute. It's too experimental for the mainstream, too quiet for the art house snobs. It exists in its own universe, and I love it for that. Number 4. Simoun. Let me set this up. It's a mecha series where all the pilots are priestesses in a theocracy, and they activate their flying god machines by kissing each other. Your first thought, oh, Yuri fanservice. Wrong again. This is a deeply political war drama about gender, identity, and the weaponization of faith. In this world, everyone is born female and chooses their sex at age 17. The story explores what happens when that choice is delayed by war, when your identity becomes a military asset, when intimacy is turned into a weapon. The Re-Mahjong, the magical patterns the pilots draw in the sky, aren't just attacks, they're prayers. And watching characters grapple with the fact that they're turning their religion into a tool of destruction is gutting. The world building rivals any prestige sci-fi. The war drags on, faith corrupts. The ending refuses to give easy answers about love, duty, or gender. So why is it unknown? Because the marketing screamed, cute girls kissing, which scared off the serious sci-fi crowd, while the actual dense, tragic war politics plot bored the fanservice crowd. It fell through the cracks. Studio Dean's eventual output didn't help its reputation either, but this is a masterpiece. Number 3. Flag. The only found footage mecha anime in existence. Directed by Ryosuke Takahashi, the guy who made Armored Trooper Votoms, this series is presented entirely through cameras. War photographer POVs, helmet cams, webcams, no omniscient third-person shots, ever. This changes everything. You don't see cool robot battles, you see blurry, shaky, zoomed-in chaos. The mecha isn't a superhero, it's a piece of clunky military hardware that breaks down and terrifies infantry. The story is about a photographer embedded with a UN peacekeeping unit, and it asks, does documenting war help, or does it just turn suffering into content? The pacing is slow, the action is sudden and confusing, there's barely any music during combat. It's the most realistic depiction of modern warfare anime has ever produced, and it came out in 2006, predicting drone warfare and surveillance culture. Why is it obscure? Because the found footage gimmick alienates people expecting Gundam-style spectacle. Plus, it was released as an early web anime with a failed pay-per-view model. It's a lost experiment, but a necessary one. Number 2. Pale Cocoon. This is a 23-minute OVA. That's it. One episode. And it will wreck you. Made by Yasuhiro Yoshiura before he did Time of Eve, this is an independent project that looks like a studio production. Humanity lives underground in a sterile colony. History has been lost. The protagonist works in the Bureau of Record Excavation, restoring corrupted data from the past. Then he finds a video file. What's on it? I won't spoil it. But the ending uses environmental storytelling, high contrast lighting, and one haunting song to deliver an emotional sledgehammer. It's about the digital dark age. The idea that everything we create now could be lost to corruption. It's about the need to know the truth, even when it hurts. In 23 minutes, it achieves more world building and emotional depth than some 24-episode series. Why is it unknown? Because it's a short. The anime community ignores shorts. They're hard to license, hard to find, and rarely get standalone releases. But this is a perfect short story. Concise, devastating, essential. And finally, number 1, Gosenzo-sama Banbanzai. If you know Mamoru Oshii, you know Ghost in the Shell. You know Patlabor 2. You know Angel's Egg. But you probably don't know this. It's a 6-episode OVA from 1989, and it's Oshii at his most unhinged. It's a stage play, animated, with hyper-realistic character movement and abstract, minimalist backgrounds that look like theatrical props. There's an audience in the show that boos and cheers the characters. The plot? A family's life is disrupted by a girl claiming to be their granddaughter from the future. What follows is a pitch-black satire of the Japanese nuclear family, fake lineage, religious hysteria, and existential absurdity. It's anti-anime. It mocks you for watching it. It's dialogue-heavy, culturally specific, and has zero traditional plot resolution. The fourth wall isn't just broken, it's obliterated. And it's brilliant. This is Oshii with total creative freedom, decades before Evangelion or Monogatari tried metafiction. It's a Brechtian theatre piece that anticipates postmodern anime and executes it with surgical precision. Why is it the most obscure? Because it's too weird, too old, too cynical, and too smart. It has like 3,000 people tracked on most databases. It's the definition of a deep cut. But if you can find it, you'll see what anime is capable of when it stops trying to be anime. So there you have it. 10 masterpieces that the algorithm forgot. Now, real talk. Most of these are hard to find. Like, defunct licenses and no streaming hard. Some require digging through secondhand markets or alternative archives. I'm not saying where. I'm just saying they exist. Do with that what you will. If this list made you want to actually watch something new, or old, I guess, smash that subscribe button. And if you want more existential anime content, check out my video on 10 anime I can never experience again. It's about shows that hit different the first time and only the first time. Links on screen. Now go forth, watch something weird, support the deep cuts. I'll see you in the obscurity.